Hi, Merchant here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install Reshade in Sweetfx 2.0 and how to input the different preset settings in for the different shaders. So you may be asking, what is Sweetfx and why should I even care? Well, Sweetfx is an SMAA anti-aliasing method that allows you to tweak the color, the gamma, and the exposure and more to improve the look and change the mood of the game you're playing to your liking. It also helps improve the overall performance of the game by disabling features in your graphical settings, improving your CPU performance. So without further ado, let's get started. So you're going to head on over to the Sweetfx website, which the link is down below in the description, and you're going to find the download button closer to the bottom of the screen. I've already downloaded the file and we're ready to go. So you're going to go to the RAR file and you're going to extract the files to your location of your choosing. For the demonstration purposes, we're going to go to the Sweetfx folder on my desktop. Alright, and then once you got that done, you're going to go to the reshadesetup.exe. You're going to run it, and now it's telling you to select your game. Make sure that auto detect is selected here and select game. You're going to navigate to the location of the exe for your game. In my case, it's my H drive, Steam library, Steam apps, common, and then Tom Clancy's The Division. Once you find the exe, which is right there, you can follow the link. Yours won't have, do you want to overwrite the existing installation? So then you'll have run the division. You'll click yes on Run the Division and you'll wait for the game to load. But we haven't gotten anything fully set up yet because we haven't put any of the preset shaders in. So once you get into the game and into the menu, you will be exiting back out to the desktop. So now that we have launched the game through the reshade.exe, we'll never have to do it with that game again. So anytime you want to inject the Sweetfx shaders into a game, you'll have to launch it that way. But then you'll be able to launch it like you normally would any other time going forward. So now that we've done that, we're going to navigate to our Sweetfx folder, which will be in that exe we found earlier. So in my case, my H drive, Steam library, Steam apps, common, and then Tom Clancy's The Division. Now you're going to see a lot more files here than you saw before, but that's okay because only 3 files were imported into here with the Sweetfx thing. They are sweet.fx, there's that one, and then there is reshade.fx, and then the one we're most concerned about is Sweetfx folder. So if you do want to remove Sweetfx from a game, you will remove those 3 files. So we're going to open that up and we're going to go to Sweetfx settings. Sweet. So now that we've got that open, you're just going to see you're going to make sure you want to open it with a notepad first of all. But now you're going to see a whole bunch of jibber jabber. Yeah, whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to provide you with the pastebin of the Sweetfx file I'm using in the description below. So you'll go to the pastebin, the URL, and you'll copy and paste it. I recommend the raw paste file because then you don't have to scroll up and down. So you'll copy this. Go back into your notepad and you're going to select all and paste over it with what I provided you. And you'll be able to fine tweak it to your settings. So for this demonstration, this is the one I play with at the current moment. I tweak them every so often. But in here is your different effects. You can turn on HDR and bloom, Luma sharpen, and Technicolor. So in this column right here, you'll see zeros or 1. 0 means off, 1 means on. So a dither effect is on. So if I go down to dither down here, I'm going to find it closer to the bottom. Right here, dither settings. This one is enabled at the top. So anything in here will affect stuff in game. And that's the wonderful thing about Sweetfx is anything you do in the notepad will reflect in the game as soon as you refresh the game, meaning you have to enable full screen again. In my case, alt-tabbing back in. So some of the settings I really like are Luma Sharpen, just the different sharpening levels you can do through here. These numbers here will tell you the minimum and maximum you can do, and then these numbers here are your settings, whatever you'd like to set. My biggest ones were Luma Sharpen. I don't like HDR because I don't like the performance hit it does on the computer. Most of these settings I use for streaming and video recording purposes. Lift gamma gain is a really big one. So you're gonna have three values, 1, 2, 3 right here, and this is the maximum levels you can have them set for 0.000 and 2.000. So the first one is red, second one is green, and third one is always blue. So you wanna adjust these to your liking. So keep in mind that I do run an IPS monitor, so my darks are a little darker. I like the game a little darker. So you'll be able to figure it out and do things on your own. Up here, it will tell you everything you need to know. Monochrome makes the colors disappear. You know you can make it play black and white. Sepia, vignette. I don't like the vignette setting. Whatever. So once you're done with it, just copy, paste, and save this. You'll be able to launch the game again through your normal launching method. In my case, I launched through Steam. We're going to click the button. It's going to load up the game. And we're going to go through just a quick little how it works in game. So now that we're in the main menu, we're going to quickly go over the settings I use for the game and what I feel about them. So quickly going over that, we got our video settings. I use full screen, 1920 by 1080, 60 hertz. It's on my 0 monitor. I don't understand why it's on 1. So I have VSync enabled. The frame rate is 60 FPS. I don't go above it or below it. I highly recommend frame rate limit. I have screen tearing issues, so I like it a lot. So I disabled post FXAA because of Reshade being running. Shadow quality, shadow resolution, spot shadow count, and spot shadow resolution are all on high. The sun contact shadows are on low. I have super sampling on the temporal AA. I really like the way it looks. My sharpened image is at 50%. Particle detail ultra. Wind affected snow, yes. Volumetric fog high. Reflection quality high. Local reflection quality high. Subsurface scattering is a yes. Anisotropic filtering 16 times. Parallax mapping, ambient occlusion, and depth of field all disabled. I do not like depth of field. Ambient occlusion I can do without. I like the performance a little more myself. And honestly, I don't know what parallax mapping does, so I turned it off. Object detail 80%. Extra streaming distance 70%. Lens flare yes. Chromatic chromatic stuff no. And a vignette effect no. I don't like the effect, it's just not my style. And then in visuals, I have my brightness down to 30%. Remember, you can only change your brightness in the Division if you have it enabled in full screen. So enable full screen, adjust your brightness, and then go back to windowed borderless if that's your thing. And then these are just personal preferences down there. So now that we're ready to do that, we're going to launch the game. We're going to join the game, and Sweetfx will already be running. You should have seen it up in the upper left-hand corner. When the game first started, you should have seen a bunch of text, jibber-jabber, stuff like that. So now that we're in game, you should be able to see a difference pretty much right away. You saw some textures flickering and stuff like that, but that's normal with most games. So if you can't see a difference right off the bat, have no fear. Just press your scroll lock button, and that will disable your Sweetfx. It's a little brighter. It's a little bleaker. It looks like the Division. It looks good, but if you press scroll lock one more time, you'll see it just get a little darker. The blues really come out a little more. The reds, it's definitely looking pretty good to me. I really like this configuration I'm running. And yeah, and if you are, please hit that follow button or the subscribe button down below, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna leave you guys with a quick 3 minutes of gameplay, just with Sweetfx on the right hand side and Sweetfx off on the left hand side. So yeah, just check that out if you want to see a big visual difference. We're gonna run through the Mercy Hospital one right here real quick, with Sweetfx on the right hand side and off on the left. So yeah, just thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Remember to make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours.
A lot of hostiles inside, Agent. They're holding Dr. Candle and her staff. We need those personnel back at the base so we can get the medical wing functional.
We'll hold here to cover your back. Then we'll escort the medical personnel when you retrieve them.
me into the security system.
Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted.
Warning, now entering dog zone.